How's it going, everybody? Lately, there's been a lot of teasers coming out in regards to Season 8. About a week ago, we ended up talking about Season 7, the end of it, the rewards that people were upset about, as always. But Sonics has been doing something a little bit different this time around. While we haven't seen any official announcements, we haven't seen anything officially posted by them, except for in one place that I found. They have slowly been changing stuff on their websites, in-game, on different maps, and a unique way to showcase that an upcoming season is approaching. They've been doing it in kind of like an Easter eggy type way, which I think is actually really cool. The fact that they aren't just being direct and saying, hey, here's a post, this is what's coming out. They're allowing and creating this kind of excitement, and I don't know if I've seen really anybody talk about it in detail. So today's video, we're going to talk about a few different things, different ways to find this, where you can find it on your own, as well as what I think it might actually allude to. Some of it is wishful thinking, but overall, I think we've got the theme of Season 8, what you can come to expect, a wheel that I think a lot of people will be really excited about, stuff that we've seen in the theme in the past with World Championship wheels, and then we're also going to showcase a couple other things that people haven't been able to find yet. So with that said, we're going to jump actually in-game. I know we don't do gameplay on this channel very often, but we're jumping in-game. The first thing on the radar is, you can even see it when you load into the game, is there's a bunch of different icons on the field, and they're adding more and more every single day. For some reason, Rocket League gets these little updates overnight, and there's more stuff going on. So if we go into custom game modes in an exhibition match, and there's a bunch of different maps that do this. Basically, all the staples of RLCS have them. You're talking like DFH and all the variants, except for I think Stormy, Manfield, Beckwith Park, I don't think it does. Aquadome, any of the ones that have like a specific aesthetic don't, because of the way the maps are made. So like Manfield Night doesn't, stuff like that. But a lot of the maps have this in there. But you're seeing originally what was just this little crown guy is now popping up everywhere. And that's not even the part I want to focus on. There's two things other than the crowns and all the like graffiti or like street stuff that's going on, which I'll talk about more. You've seen this, which is kind of what this is all based around, the concept of not forgetting your roots, and soccer belongs to the streets. That's what to keep in mind. So it sounds like overall the theme of everything, and they've changed it in game. In the past, the billboards also had something different displayed, but they put out the Ferrari update. But there is an assumption that it could be a few things. The theme, primarily, in my opinion, is going to be something to do streets oriented. And what I mean by that, if you guys have never watched like OG like futsal, indoor arenas are one option. If you've never seen futsal, potentially stuff like this with like the indoor arena type vibe. Like most people don't realize, but if you've ever watched like OG like soccer, football, whatever movies, basketball or anything, most of the best players in the world are unfounded talent. People that like just come in and step on in like open tryouts and stuff like that. And my hope is they kind of go back to an arena like that, or like more of like a street soccer type vibe, where it's like things of this nature, things like this, where aesthetically it's like, again, street soccer, back to the roots, you know, pickup games, things that you see in a lot of different cultures that, you know, maybe a little bit more on the impoverished side of things, which is kind of cool because it's the antithesis of what we saw last season. Season 7 was glitz, glamour, bougie, like red carpet, all that kind of stuff. And now they're doing the opposite, which I think is actually kind of cool. And I hope they go to, like they said, back to the roots. You know, stuff like Joga Bonito, the like Nike ad that they were doing about talking about the beautiful game and like what soccer really was about, and all the ads that they had for that. That's what it really reminds me of. So I'm hoping that they go back to this kind of aesthetic. Maybe like a remake for Urban Central, because Urban Central has kind of been forgotten about. Same with like Beckwith Park and all that kind of stuff. But like going back to their origins and what that may necessarily entail has got me spinning in a lot of different things. And I'll get to where my theory is about what's going to be happening in the game. Fingers crossed though. There has been some updates on official sites. Number one is on Facebook. Facebook, their banner has only been the different seasons. Every single post before Rocket League, free to play comes out, new banner. Season 2, new banner. Season 3, new banner. 4, new banner. 5, new banner. 6, new banner. 7, new banner. 8, new banner. So this leads me to believe 100% that this is the new theme. They are 100% teasing Season 8 Rocket Pass, all that kind of stuff, Season 8 competitive. And that further got confirmed because there's literally a file, and the name of the file by default is Season 8 teaser. And this is something that a lot of people probably haven't seen yet. Number one, if you go to their website, which most people never use their website, but if you go to their website, it has also been tagged up. There's a bunch of graffiti, all that kind of stuff. And one in particular, the SKR, which is in-game, stands for Sovereign Knights, or Sovereign Crew. Sovereign Crew. That is the name of the group club, potentially. Again, hinting more at what I think is going to be happening. The club that is in the game is the Sovereign Crew that has been tagging everything. And I don't know why when you zoom in on your mouse that it completely breaks the spectator. So, Sovereign Crew seems to be the theme here. So, their tag, their icon has been on the website, and it's in two places. Number one is on the front page. Number two, if you actually go into Season 7 details, it is also linked in there. And both of these have a hyperlink that if you click on them, they bring you to this video. Let's play it. What is this? It must know. I can't see it. There's a reason they did it at that angle and didn't pan it a little bit more to the right. But there's something here, and I can't decipher what this is. It's a soccer ball with a crown. I don't know what this says. It's security footage of Coliseum Gilded, which is the map we were just on. So I'm going to let that play it again without the audio. But what's crazy is you have the ability to download this video, and if you download it, the title of the file is literally RL underscore season 8 teaser underscore bunch of numbers underscore version 2. So where's version 1? That's the first one. Number 2, it literally has season 8 teaser in the default video file name. So we're clearly on the right track. Like, we did it. We cracked the code. It is 100% for season 8. So anytime you click on that, it will pop up. It has the like crown icon, and I can't scroll down or anything. This is just a placeholder that pops up, and then it again closes away when you get rid of it. So that is on their official website in two different places, both on the front page as well as the very specific season 7 one that's been tagged up. So there's a lot of different things here that are going on. So that gets me to the part that I want to talk about and what I think the theme or like some of the changes that are potentially going to be coming. There's two ways that I really want to think about it. And primarily, obviously, they're adding new vehicles and all that kind of stuff. They just brought in the Ferrari for the DLC. But for Season 8 in particular, there's a lot of focus on back to the roots, streets. You're seeing like graffiti and tagging and stuff like that. And I think there's a little bit of hope here. And this is just me theorycrafting and kind of hoping what comes and maybe a false sense of hope. But the reality of it is I think Psyonix is understanding that they've been trying to build and build and build and build and get to this point. And I feel like they realize that they're on the right path. And when you're on the right path and things are successful, usually you have the ability to take a step back and reflect on what made you successful in the first place. And I think that's something that Psyonix has needed to do for quite a while and is hopeful, because I remember back in the day when Psyonix first started, we're talking 2015, early July, they put out the game and their CEO Dave said, and I quote pretty much because he hates bread, that if we hit over 10,000 concurrent players, or we have a player base of like 10,000, I'll eat bread, which he absolutely hates. And the developers did a live stream. They showed Dave eating bread. They interacted with the community, and it's been pretty quiet ever since. It feels like there was this focus where they went from, what does the community want? Let's communicate with the community. Let's do everything we can to make the community happy. And then they pivoted into, we need to make as much money as possible because we don't know how long this is going to last. And it feels like we've gotten away from that. And that's pretty common when you talk corporate and are talking about growing, and you kind of lose sense of that community feeling. And yes, that is why there's an antenna that has a piece of bread on it. It's because Dave hates bread. Dave Hagewood. So I feel like they've lost a sense of that community kind of aspect, and I feel like this is a really cool way to transcend that. And I guess what my hope is they add the feature that I have been requesting for like 4 years. You talk about back to the streets, back to the origin of what soccer is, back to identifying what it means to play Rocket League and what that path can become. And we might finally get Club Q. I think there is a real possibility that there may be two sides, and you can either pick the Sovereign Kings, or you can pick somebody else, or you can pick a different club. And there is a huge emphasis on a club update in Season 8. It is honestly probably one of the last features that has been implemented that hasn't been refreshed. They updated the training packs. You know, they did a training pack update. They updated the tournaments. And the last one that I think they need to check off is clubs. Because right now, clubs in game are completely useless. They don't equate to anything. And I'm hoping that there is a club revamp coming soon, and that's what I'm going to bank my hope on. And that can be a multitude of things. If you guys haven't seen me talk about what clubs could be or what I hope they become, that is a totally different story. You can go to my YouTube channel, go to the search option, type clubs and Club Q, and it'll all pop up. But yeah, they also redid voice chat. So they've like ticked the boxes on like 3 out of 4 of the major things. Tournaments, voice chat, training packs. Now they got to find a way to figure out clubs. They also redid Rocket Labs at one point. Hopefully Rocket Labs comes back as a full-time playlist, and they just keep rotating all the new ones all the time. That's my hope. Clubs is their next focus, going back to their roots and trying to find a way to do one of two things. Either A, have clubs playing each other in some sort of way where clubs are now how you go and compete in 3v3 tournaments or something to that extent, or the other side of it, Club Q. You sign up with friends. Hopefully you have some, and if you don't, queue into ranked and find some people that you get along with or something. I don't know. But that becomes a team MMR. You have to have a dedicated 3v3 team. Maybe you play a best of series once you hit a certain rank. So like you play 3v3 against another 3v3 team. Now that there's in-game voice chat and all that kind of stuff, it makes more sense. And then as that progresses, once you maybe get to like Grand Champ rank, then you play best of 3s instead of a single game. And then when you get to like SSL, you play best of 5s. They use that rank system to then feed into like an amateur scene and the bubble scene. And now that's how we have like the AAA Challenger series is now fed from the in-game system. And like there's so many things that they could do that so many other games have done so well. League of Legends is probably the one I look at the most with their master tier and challenger tier system, and then using challengers as a way to feed into an amateur scene. I think there's a lot of really cool things they could do with Club Q if they implemented it, which is insane because in the very early days, talking like SARP BC, when they were in alpha for Rocket League, there was thoughts of not even having a ranked queue in Rocket League until Gibbs is like, your game will literally die if you don't have a reason for people to compete. So we'll see what happens, but I'm really hoping that the overall emphasis of Season 8 is the revamping of clubs. I'm really hoping. I don't know if that's the case or not. It's a shot in the dark, but I do know for a fact, based upon all the stuff that I showed you guys, this has been the like teasing of Season 8. So I am really, really hoping that Club Q and clubs and all that feature set gets implemented, and fingers crossed for it. So that is where my brain has been in all these teasers and trying to identify. I'm sure there will be more over the next coming days, in the next coming weeks as the season starts. We're looking most likely mid-September, if I had to guess, probably like anywhere from the 12th to like the 16th, if they were going to release Season 8. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. Maybe it's a little bit earlier, depending on when rewards and stuff are finalized. So we haven't seen anything on Season 8 or the theme, but when we do, you better believe I'll have a video coming out. So if you guys want to make sure you don't miss out on that, like, subscribe, give me your own theories in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.